there, Delmarva Coast. Happy Monday. I hope it's a happy Monday for you. Thanks for joining us on Coast Life. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and yes, hopefully you enjoyed whether it was a relaxing weekend, a hot weekend, either way you slice it.
A little rainy.
A little bit.
Yeah. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was nice. My sister came down to visit, so we always have a good time together.
Good. That's really fun. Good. Well, I hope you had a good weekend, too. There's a lot to do. We told you about it on Friday, so hope you took advantage of some of those fun events.
Yes, and we always like to talk about what you're talking about. We hope you join us on our socials. That's where a lot of conversation, action happens. We also like it when you email us, too. We have gotten a couple of emails. That's team@coastlife.com. If maybe you don't want your opinion out there publicly, but you do want to let us know how you're feeling.
Oh, I love it.
We really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But we like talking about what you're talking about. Summer's here. Yes. A lot of people going on vacations. Are you one of them? If you're not, it's okay to be a little bit jealous. People are getting some of that FOMO. Thirst traps are actually what's causing that FOMO a little bit. Whether it's a thirst trap of you out there looking your best, living your best life on the beach. Honestly, I'm probably going to be more jealous of the beach you're on.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. And you know what? It's cool, though. Living here on the coast, we have all the opportunities to post thirst traps if you want to.
That's true.
Yeah,
and on a budget. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money to make your friends jealous if that's what you're after posting. Have you ever posted a thirst trap where you posed the scene?
Yeah. No, I've always wanted to. Truthfully, I've always wanted to post a thirst trap, and I just don't think I'm cool enough. I don't have that Instagram look, the talent. I don't. My friends also we make fun of each other. I feel like if I was like, hey, take a picture, they'd be like, girl, just pose regular. So
right, I think sometimes when you see thirst traps on Instagram and everybody's friends are hyping them up in the comments, my friends would be tearing me apart.
Yeah.
They'd be like, who is this?
Yeah.
Why are you doing
that? Is not what you look like. So I love that. So no, I want to. I'm actually jealous. Not when you're out on vacation posting thirst traps. I'm jealous that you're able to get a good photo like that.
Seriously, that's honestly that's the hardest part is being able to do the photography, whether you're doing it yourself or you have someone on hand that's a really good Instagram photographer.
And I can't stop posing like this. I can't. They're like, pose. I'm like.
So I was at my little cousin's graduation last week. There was a swing there, had these balloons on it, and I was like, oh, let's take a picture, because that's what it's there for. You're supposed to take a picture.
It's cute.
And my brother was there, and he was like, I got this, sis, because my sister-in-law likes to post to Instagram a lot, so he thinks he's her photographer now, he's really good at it. And I'm like, okay, oh, look at you, Mr. Photographer. So I sit down, and it feels like he's, taking 50 billion pictures like you're supposed to, because he's standing there still not signaling whether or not he's taking a picture.
Oh, the worst.
For 5 minutes, and he's taking 3 pictures. And they were good.
Yeah.
But
well, that's good at least.
I was trying to change up my poses, I'm thinking I'm working it, and I have 3 pictures.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, thanks.
If you're an Instagram boyfriend, just so you know, before you go on vacay with your girl, just make sure the rule of thumb is just keep clicking. Just keep going and move, okay?
It is. You're going to get your best shot somewhere in those 50 billion photos if you're just going.
Exactly. And also, I'm not going to judge your thirst trap. I'm going to judge what you captioned it.
That's true,
just
honestly.
So you know.
How you caption the thirst trap says more than the thirst trap.
Yeah.
But kind of speaking of Instagram and photos, apparently an elegance coach is out there telling people how, depending on how you dress, you may look cheaper than others. And I found this story, and I thought it was funny because I was like, oh my gosh, they're coming for me.
Oh no.
So the things that were included on the list of things that make you look cheap, crop tops.
Check.
Ripped jeans.
I have those.
Long fake nails.
They look as short as they've been in years.
And oversized outfits.
So we are cheap.
Yes.
Woo!
And it's funny because it came to mind last year at Firefly at the music festival. I was there wearing every item on that list. I had a crop top, ripped jeans, oversized jacket, feeling myself. I'm like, this is so cute. I would live in this outfit forever if I could.
You did look
cute.
It's
so funny that I was like, that's amazing.
I saw the picture. You did look cute. Oh my gosh. I get it. You dress however you want, modest, cheap. I don't think we're cheap.
Right?
No, just wear whatever you want. But that's hilarious.
I mean, so what if what I buy doesn't have a high price tag and technically is cheap?
That is hilarious. I love that. They took the trend right now and they were like, I'm just going to say everything on it is bad. Boom.
Because that's how it works. I'm not usually a big conspiracy theory person, and I feel like this isn't that big of a stretch of a conspiracy. But I do think marketing companies, their whole job is to balance that act between the other. As soon as one thing becomes popular, they're like, that's out, because it's to get you to spend money on the other stuff that's not popular right now.
It works. I do it.
it's effective.
It happens to me all the time. And you, I know it does.
But we've got a great show headed your way. The great American pastime of baseball. Our friend Katie Zarilli from our sister show Delmarva Life is going to be checking in with the shorebirds.
And we had the time of our lives shark fishing. It was catch and release. We want to really show you how we shark fished in a really great, humane way with these incredible animals.
We're also getting a unique snapshot of history with our friends at the Delaware Public Archives. All that and more is headed your way with COASTLIFE.
COASTLIFE is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, and Shell Brothers.
Here on COASTLIFE, we love celebrating the arts and the crafts.
Yes, especially if we're not good at them. That's okay.
Well, and we love when light make things easy for us, and that's exactly what you'll find at Hammer and Stain. They've got DIY projects for everybody. Take a look.
If you're looking to pick up an artistic hobby, but you're not too sure about your abilities as an artist, the excited new owners at Hammer and Stain on Coastal Highway in Lewis have the DIY projects for you.
So the bread and butter is this wood painting projects, which is what we did in class today. But beyond that, we're trying to really expand our offerings. So we do epoxy resin tray pouring. We also just started doing UV resin jewelry. And we also do blanket workshops where you hand kind of crochet these blankets. We're also doing some tech assisted crafting. So I run a Tech Tuesdays class where I teach people how to use their Cricuts and how to use the laser cutter. Rachel's gonna run some Canva classes.
Picking up new hobbies can be intimidating, but Marissa and Rachel guide you through a session that's every bit as fun as it is informative. So no matter your skill level, you're walking away loving what you made, and most likely with new friends.
New things are scary in general, and I think we're both pretty bubbly, approachable people. So the goal is just to be make this as comfortable as possible, which is why we're changing the feng shui a little bit, trying to get people to be cozy and come in whenever they want to.
And I think most projects we tend to skew towards the beginner and then allow more advanced people to add on to their projects in some way.
Part of that cozy atmosphere includes snacks, drinks, and music to set the tone for your DIY class. Marissa and Rachel have made Hammer and Stain in Lewis really special as they encourage artists in the Delaware Beach communities to share their skills and knowledge. From an intro drawing course to decorating oyster shells, their robust list of activities for adults and kids is sure to include something for you.
We're really excited about sort of more of these high skill classes that we're bringing in. So the intro to drawing, we're actually doing it for both kids and adults. We have a more professional kind of painting class, sort of beyond your paint and sip, to really learn how to paint as opposed to just a fun thing that people would do. Of course, it is still very fun. And we're also doing a mosaic workshop, tile mosaics.
You may be looking for something creative for your kids to do. Summer camp at Hammer and Stain may be just what you're looking for.
We're so excited about this. We started an after-school program in November, and it's just grown into something that we love to do. It's just super fun to watch kids. Kids have no filter, so watching them kind of just go nuts is so fun. And then a couple parents asked, they're hey, what are you guys doing in the summer? And we were summer camp. We just had to do it. There's just not a ton of arts and crafts stuff, so.
Yeah, we like to say that we're doing it for the indoor kids. Because sports are really big down here, and there are plenty of kids who have no interest in sports whatsoever, and they just want to be inside and they want to make something pretty.
Ready to sign up for your first or next DIY craft? Here's how you can.
Every class that we have is on the website. You basically shop in any e-commerce platform you would go. The date would be listed. Some classes have choices that you have to make. So if you do a wood class, you'll choose which stencil you want. But some classes don't. So if you came for a resin tray class, everyone just gets the same resin tray and you pick your colors when you arrive.
Once you've been to Hammer and Stain, you're going to want to go back. And if you can't wait to book their next class, they do accept walk-ins as well.
Classes itself, the ones we have listed on the website, those you do have to book in advance, although occasionally we will have room and you could just walk in. But we do have kind of our walk-in wall, which is a bunch of different projects, a bunch of different stencils. You can just come on in if you have 2 hours to kill, and you could just pick a wood piece off the wall, pick a stencil, and just start painting.
And if you want to keep up with what's going on or you'd like to teach a skill, make sure you follow Hammer and Stain on social media.
Marissa's been really good about putting all of our workshops online as like an event, a Facebook event. So following all of that, and I think in addition to like, we want to offer classes that people want to take. So if anyone has suggestions of something that they want to do or something that they're interested in learning but scared, like message us through any form of social media, or if you are an artist and want to teach a skill, like we would love to hear that too. Like we're super flexible and just want to like give back as much as we can and give like people a really good place to come to do something other than like stay at home and hibernate in the winter months.
Or drink at a bar, or spend a lot of money out, This is like a nice alternative to that.
And Paige, one of the things that I love about Hammer and Stain is that they really have projects for all ages. In fact, they're actually starting up some summer camps as well that people can still sign up for.
This is so cool. So hey, all you parents out there, if your kids are getting a little antsy, or maybe you don't want them doing arts and crafts
in the house.
Yeah, you know that. Just send them over there. They will bring you home a beautiful present they'll be so proud of, and you don't have to clean up the mess. They'll do it.
Yeah, so make sure you get any information that you need on Hammer and Stain. But we've got more fun coming your way with more Coast Life. On Coast Life, we care about every member of our community, as does Peninsula Home Care, and of course, our friends at the Shorebirds. Here to tell us more about that team up is our team up with our friend Katie Zarilli from our sister show, Delmarva Life. Take a look.
You're watching Coast Life, and a lot of us have had baseball on the brain this summer as we're watching local folks make it big. And speaking of big, let's talk right now about something I think is a pretty big deal, and that is Peninsula Home Care's Silver Sluggers program here at Delmarva Shorebirds. I'm hanging out with Nikki Clark of Peninsula Home Care. We're hanging out around second base, kind of fun. Let's talk about this program. Back for another summer.
Yes, back for another summer. Our sluggers are super excited, and so are we.
How does it work?
Basically, it's for 55 and older. They can sign up online. They can have about 10 to 11 games, choose their seats. Each night we have giveaways. We have multiple giveaways, one from the stadium themselves and also one from us. And we also choose a slugger to throw out the first pitch.
I bet that is amazing.
Yes.
So obviously this takes place here in Salisbury, but can folks from anywhere come be part of it?
Yes, they can. We actually have organizations in Delaware who bus their sluggers in, Lewis, Rehoboth, places like that, all down through the beach.
Wow. And this is, you got the hat?
Yes, this is our new hat this year for our sluggers. Each year is a different style, different color.
I always get so excited to see what the hat's going to look like every year, because I never know.
We do too. Yeah. We get excited too, especially when we see them for the first time.
Yeah. And so if folks want to sign up, how do they do that?
They can sign up online. If they have any questions, they can definitely see us at our table each Wednesday, and we can also walk them through that process there as well.
And what have they said about being part of this?
They have nothing but good to say. They first, as soon as they walk through the door, they come right over to our table to see what kind of giveaways we have, just to say hi, All
right, Nikki, thank you so much. I see that your teammate is over there on third base, so we got to go see her now and talk about an upcoming fundraiser. Let's head over to Holly. All right, time now to hang out at third base with Holly Jones.
Woo-hoo.
Holly, you played softball, but you were not on third base, right?
No, I wasn't a third baseman. I was a catcher and I played in the outfield.
Good stuff, though.
Yeah, it was always a good time. You're part of almost every pitch.
Yeah.
So that was my goal.
That's awesome. So speaking of always a good time, obviously the Silver Slugger is always a good time, and especially this Wednesday, you guys have something really important going on a fundraiser, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So what we're trying to spread awareness about is kind of a sensitive topic. It's adult incontinence. And really our community, probably more than 70% of folks that are 60 and over have some sort of issue, whether you're a female or a male. And our goal is to really spread awareness about that. So we're reaching out on a Silver Slugger night where there's a huge population of 55 and over that are coming to participate, and trying to add some education, but then also ask for their support. So some of those items that we would hope to try to have folks bring in are diapers, whether they're the pull-up or the regular kind, pads that can be laid down to protect bedding or chairs, things to that nature, gloves, flushable wipes, anything to that nature. And anyone who's able to bring that type of supply to us here at that Wednesday night game, we're gonna have a special gift for them in return.
That sounds awesome. And of course, this is something that you guys aren't just doing on your own, right?
Oh, no. So we are partnering with different organizations here in Salisbury and in Delaware as well. We're hoping that once we have all of these boxes filled, that we'll be able to partner with them to kind of clean out the closet and provide the supplies back to the community for folks who are having financial need or the medical need as well, of course.
Yeah, and I love the partnership, and I just love the whole concept of community, and I'm sure that that's one of the big reasons you guys do the Silver Sluggers program in general, right, is community for these folks.
Exactly. This is an opportunity to bring people who may not normally have that opportunity together. When you buy your season ticket, you're literally going to be sitting next to the same group of people for all this year, 11 games, all on Wednesday nights that start at 7, and I think having the opportunity to partner with the Shorebirds and partner with like the Mac Center and other organizations. I mean, we have our own joint partnership with the local hospital here in Salisbury, with the local hospital in Seaford as well. There's other organizations like Peninsula Orthopedics and things to that nature that we're able to all kind of create this continuum of care for not just our patients today, but for maybe tomorrow as well.
Amazing. And this program has also grown a lot, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think when it had first started, when we had first taken over the program, there were only a few hundred, less than 500 people who were involved. Now we're over 1,300.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're pretty proud of that. We've been making these strides to continue to educate people about not just Peninsula Home Care, but the joy of coming together as a community at a baseball game. I mean, why not?
Yeah, that's something you should be proud of. You should also be proud of those t-shirts because I love them, right?
Yes, our director, she is extremely creative. We are definitely your home run home care, Peninsula Home Care, that is us.
Good stuff. Well, we'll hope for a lot more home runs on Wednesday night, am I right?
I hope so, and I'll be there to catch them.
You know it, girl. All right, Paige and Leah, back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Katie. I feel like Katie and our friends at Peninsula Home Care, both of them are always having so much fun doing so many unique things. And that's really just a tiny snippet of what they do at Peninsula Home Care. And we're going to dive deeper into that in tomorrow's show.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, but we've got more fun for you right now when COASTLIFE gets back.
This segment of COASTLIFE was brought to you by Peninsula Home Care.
Last time we talked to the folks at Prasino Wells and Woodland, they told us how much family matters to them, which is why Michelle has been so kind to invite me into her home with her family to cook a meal today.
At Prasino Wells and Woodland, elder law, estate, and legacy planning are what they do, but the reason they do it is family. Michelle Prasino Wells was kind enough to give us a glimpse into her own family and why she loves doing what she does, all over a homemade dinner.
So we are making, it's actually my grandmother's recipe. We're making pasta sauce, tomato sauce.
Nice.
A meat sauce. So we're gonna brown the meat, we're gonna add the tomatoes, the herbs, all of that. But we're also making homemade meatballs, which is also my grandmother's recipe.
Amazing, delicious. I have a family recipe as well, but I don't know if your family is like this. My family never measured anything. It's all just like, yeah, you know, put a little water in there, throw a little garlic in there. You're like, how much though? And
I have a written recipe from my grandmother on my mom's side for an applesauce cake, and it calls for butter the size of a walnut.
For many, family dinner is where everyone really gets to know each other and catch up on each other's lives. Michelle's family is no exception, and as time goes on, lives get busy. Gathering the family can be a bit of a challenge.
Well, it's hard, as everyone has gotten older, the kids, so we made it a project this winter to try to get together on Sundays.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really as sort of, I wanted to do it sort of as some legacy planning for my parents and our family, to capture all these recipes that my grandmother made, that now my dad makes, and my mom. So we've done a lot of Sundays during the winter, and otherwise we get together for birthdays, holidays, so we try as much as possible.
From Michelle's parents, Pat and Rita, to her brother, sons, nieces, nephews, and extended family, the entire Pristino Wells Bunch plays a part in bringing this family recipe to life.
This is my mother-in-law's recipe, and she always said too that just put some in and taste it. Well, a Sussex County farm girl who is not Italian really didn't know what it was supposed to taste like.
You said the sauce here is homemade, right?
Yep.
So what goes into making the homemade sauce?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, just tomatoes. Any other seasoning or anything?
Just salt.
There's some
salt.
basil.
And well, after you fill the jar, you put a couple basil leaves in the top of it.
Okay.
And yeah.
Good luck, good measure.
Of course, it's not a pasta dinner without the sauce. Even dessert is a family recipe passed down by Michelle's great Aunt Nancy. While the grown-ups finish cooking, the kids help set the table. Before Michelle's family sits down to eat, they gather to say a brief thanks.
Bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, bless the food we're about to eat. Thank you for the blessings you've bestowed on this family. Thank you for our guests and our family today. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You are watching Coast Life, and today we are introducing you to someone very cool, but also with a ton of knowledge. I'm not talking about Leah here.
No, see, we share one brain cell.
Normally I would, but we want to introduce you to Megan Peterman with Delaware Public Archives. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. So we're talking about something really cool, these new postcards that you guys have. Could you just tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. So the postcards that we've been showing online on our Facebook page and Instagram are from the Cayley postcard collection. It's a collection we actually got in 2012 from George Cayley and his wife Irene. He was an avid postcard collector, a local historian, big friend of Delaware, and they actually volunteered for us as well. So when he passed, several years after, his wife donated the collection to us. It's over 6,000 postcards.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so we decided to do a feature for the summer.
lots of beach postcards.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Can you give us some insight with what's on these postcards, what people could be seeing?
Sure. So the collection itself has a lot of different things, just more than Delaware beaches. Lots of Delaware scenes, famous buildings, and the collection ranges from the early 1900s to almost 2002. And so it's kind of cool to see pictures over time. Like we have the old State House building, and you can see the changes in the building over the period of time. So it's really neat.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I never thought about how unique and interesting a postcard collection could be as far as like a little snapshot of time year after year after year, and it must be very cool to kind of look back and see history through that lens of sort of like, here's a real-time snapshot of what life was.
Yeah, and I think it's been really nostalgic for people as we post that they can see, oh, that's where I went to the beach when I was a kid, or stuff like that.
So tell us sort of maybe in general too, for people who might not know, what else does the Delaware Public Archives have? What sort of knowledge do you hold?
How long do you have? We have all kinds of things. So we're a state archive, so we actually get state records transferred to us, minutes, correspondence, publications from state agencies, stuff like that. But we're one of the oldest state archives. We were founded in 1905. So we also have a lot of private collections as well, like this postcard collection. We have photographs, we have personal papers from families, lots of genealogy research that researchers could do. So we have an extensive collection of things. We also have super cool things like the ratification document. Yeah, so lots of really neat stuff.
Is this something that people can come in and visit and learn more about?
Absolutely.
Can you tell us how?
So you can make an appointment by calling us or emailing us at archives.delaware.gov and make an appointment to come in, and if you're interested in a particular topic, some of our staff will work with you to pull those records ahead of time. Or you could come in just for general information. We have some exhibit areas that you could go check out. So we're open from 8 to 4:30.
Very cool. You know, it's something I think I've worked with you all before with things on the news side. When we need something, there could be an event and you think, well, how are we going to get pictures from this and that happened decades ago? And you tend to just have everything that we needed, and you really do bring us back in time.
Yeah, we do have tons of photographs. The postcards, in addition to the 6,000 from the Cayley collection, we have over 9,000 cataloged postcards.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah. And you're still accepting more if people have some.
Absolutely. We take donations all the time. People call us constantly. And so we do quarterly accessions meetings where we review all the accessions and determine whether or not to accept or not. But yeah, people call us and stop in and drop stuff off all the time.
Wow. Very cool. I think the beach postcards have to be sort of my favorite image in my head, because I feel like that's sort of the hardest thing, to take yourself back in time and picture people standing on the beach in layers of clothes or whatever, whatever the case is. It's a very different picture in history than it is a modern image of the beach.
For sure, for sure.
And I think too, especially let's talk about Rehoboth with the Dolly sign.
Oh yes, we have so many postcards with the Dolly sign.
We're kind of living in
it's
this
iconic
history change right now, and people in 100 years are going to say, oh, this is when the Dolly sign was taken down.
Yeah.
So incredible. So hey, if you have postcards at home, they could be put to good use.
Donate them to us.
Yes.
We'd love to have them.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and telling us about this really great and just cool and incredible collection that's going to take us back in time in Delaware.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Well, that's not the only cool and very interesting thing we have on Coast Life today. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss what's up next.
You're watching Coast Life, and life doesn't get much more coastal than hanging out on the beach doing a little bit of fishing, or should I say some big fishing, since today I'm hanging out with Dennis Jones from Hell on Reels Shark Fishing.
Hey, good evening, good evening.
So Dennis, how long have you been catching sharks?
Since about 2017.
All right, so how is that different from, say, regular surf fishing in this area?
Well, number one, they're much bigger baits, much bigger gear, more expensive gear. The time frame it takes to land one of these fish takes a lot longer. Surf fishing, you get kingfish, spot, perch, all the small 12-inch, the 20-inch fish. These fish that we catch are sometimes over 10 feet, 300 to 400 pounds. So it's pretty exciting. They're all protected species. We hook these fish, we release these fish when we get them to shore, usually in less than a minute. Everything's done in the wash. We tag sharks for conservation for NOAA, so we can track their migration patterns. And we really love it. You know, I was a bass fisherman for years, and I got kind of bored with that. Wanted to go on to bigger and better things. So it's exciting. Hopefully we can get you on one today.
Yes, here's hoping. But you also take people to do this with you. So how does it look like, or what does a typical day look like when a group books an afternoon with Hell on Reels?
Well, it's actually a full day trip. We start off at 6 a.m. I'm a Maryland-based company, and we run our charters here in Maryland off Assateague Island. I can take up to 6 clients. We meet at a visitor center. Everybody grabs the coolers and drinks for the day, and they all hop in our vehicles that you see around us here. My partner and I, Kelly Poper, we take them out on the island, and we have canopies, chairs, everything. Food and beverages is only the thing the client has to bring. So we supply everything else. It's a relaxation. It's kind of a salt therapy in a sense. Reels go off and the adrenaline starts pumping. So it's a good time.
Now you do have an age limit for people that may be wanting to take the family, correct?
We do. 13 and older is our age requirement.
That makes sense. Sharks are, they're a lot. But now we've been watching you guys out here, and you really truly are professionals. I mean, you've been able to sort of identify sharks by the way they even tug at the line, right?
We can. Some sharks bite a little more aggressively than other types of sharks. As I explained to you before, there's certain sharks out here that can actually feed without swimming. 99% of sharks have to swim and feed at the same time, but there's certain species that can actually nibble like a regular fish without even moving. So those are a little challenging, but you never know the size. And as I explained to you earlier, the Atlantic Ocean is an amazing place. And that's what makes this the most exciting, is you do not know what's on the end of the line, ever.
Scary but exciting, that adrenaline rush you were talking about. Now, what is the biggest shark you've ever caught?
Right now we're looking at about 10.5 feet. My partner and I, we travel a little bit. We've come from South Carolina last month. We caught an 8.5-foot bull shark. We hooked into a scalloped hammerhead, probably about 11 feet. Those guys down there are amazing. You learn so much from people in the South. They have really truly huge sea monsters down there, and you learn a lot traveling. So we're got some trips to Texas in the fall, and we're going to go after some big species there too. So
nice, just getting bigger and better every year. How can people who are interested in booking a trip get a hold of you, get in touch with you, check out what you guys do?
Well, right now everything's done through social media. I have 2 Instagram pages. Maryland Outdoors is my primary page, and I just opened a Hell on Reels page with a Z. You can message me directly and set up a trip. My phone number is also listed on that page with all my card information. So anybody can give me a call. Right now we're pretty booked up for the summer, but I do have some slots open.
Awesome. Well, you definitely want to check it out, and you definitely don't want to go anywhere, because coming up next, we're going to see what we catch when Coast Life gets back. Now, before the break, we had a chance to chat with Dennis Jones out on the beach. For us, this is great. We're reliving this moment where we went shark fishing with the guys from Hell on Reels. And talk about an adrenaline rush. That's what this has been. So we kind of left you thinking, oh, did we catch a shark? Oh, we're going to find out. Take a look.
If you've ever wanted a once-in-a-lifetime adrenaline rush, you've truly never experienced anything like the thrill of shark fishing with Dennis Jones and Kelly Poper with Hell on Reels. From the gear, to the bait, to the safety precautions, Hell on Reels is as professional as it gets.
Proper gear is key. When you're going for those big fish, you got to have big gear.
Yummy, yummy, yummy secret sauce, shark candy. For safety reasons, we always have two-way communication. I never have to look back. He instructs me what to do the entire time. Left, right, 12, 1 o'clock. So I never have to look back and second guess anything.
Our Coast Life crew was excited to take to the beach and catch some sharks. But it was a long day of waiting, and more waiting.
I don't get mad.
But it was all worth it, because not only did we get a chance to catch a sandbar shark,
Taylor, get a quick photo. You got it?
we got a chance to catch Dennis's dream shark, a tiger.
I'll help guide this back and forth, okay? It's all right. Just keep reeling, don't stop. That's the biggest thing.
The Hell on Reels crew not only ensures a good time for their guests, they ensure the shark's safety as well.
The fish will kind of tell you when it's ready to go. Its tail starts moving, it's all in body language. If it's sitting there and wanting to roll, you hold it up, you let it revive.
It was an absolutely unforgettable experience.
Wow! Come over here and grab it, Kel. Turn around. You can get your tattoo! I can get my tattoo. You can get it!
Yeah, Leah. That was one of the best days.
It really, I mean, like, it has carved out a permanent space in my brain to live till the end of times. And it was so cool to share that moment with Dennis and Kelly, actually, because he had talked about wanting to catch that tiger shark.
Oh, that was honestly just one of the most amazing experiences. I know you heard it, but I just want to reiterate, the moment we realized what shark that was, I mean, tears. And I'm sorry if we looked dramatic, or if you follow us on Instagram and you saw us posting and posting and posting for days after, but like, I mean, really, truly, you have to go out with them just to get that experience.
Yes, and one of the things that I really loved about Dennis is how much of a focus he has on like marine education and marine life education, and how there's a lot of conservation at the heart of what they do. So they always release the sharks. It is catch and release. They leave them in the water while you're reeling them in. They're never spending time out of the water. So it was such a cool thing. Seriously, the ultimate adrenaline rush.
They truly love sharks. I mean, love.
Yes.
They love learning about them and seeing them and taking care of them. So, I mean, that was just really impressive to me, that had the care that they took with those animals. And the education, I thought I knew a lot about sharks. You know, we all watch Shark Week, or we do our research before we go to the beach, but I learned more with Dennis than ever before.
I learned I got to work out a little bit more too, because my God, that was the arm day. I mean, Maya and I had a tag team, the first shark.
I did enough glute workouts for a long time.
But it was so cool. And I mean, that's one of the things that we've mentioned before, how much we love this aspect of Coast Life, where we get to introduce you to somebody that you may never have otherwise known or heard about. So if there's something, you know, maybe you love sharks, maybe you've loved sharks your whole life, this would be such a dream come true kind of opportunity. So make sure you don't miss your chance to contact Dennis Jones and Hell on Reels.
Yes, yeah, we can talk about it all day. We would love to talk about it all day with you, truly, but I think it's just one of those things you should go experience and check out for yourself.
Yes, and we do have more to talk to you about when Coast Life gets back. We've had such a fun show today.
Always.
I think especially coming back to that moment when we were out there shark fishing with our friends from Hell on Reels. I mean, it really was just, words really can't describe how awesome it was. I mean, I think what's great about Dennis and Kelly too is that, you know, we're fairly small women.
Yeah.
And they made us feel so strong, because every time we were like, well, you helped us reel it in. They're like, no, you did that.
Yes.
And we were like, but you were there. They're like, no, you did that. And
We would be in the ocean if they didn't pull us back.
Yes, realistically, they helped us quite a bit,
Yes.
but it was great that they're like, you did that.
Yeah.
And it felt so nice. It was such a cool experience.
Oh my gosh, just you're in the ocean all the time, and when we live on the coast, you're right there and by the sharks, and we all know they're in there, but to make that connection with them is once in a lifetime. Hopefully not once. Hopefully we can go back.
They said they'd let us go back.
Hope they meant it.
But we also chatted with their friends at Peninsula Home Care.
Yes.
That's another fantastic group of people that you can see how much every person in that building cares about what they do, which sometimes can be, in a field that deals with a lot of insurance and a lot of paperwork, it can sometimes be hard to stay passionate about everything you do, but not these guys. Our friends at Peninsula Home Care are just, they're phenomenal.
It's very true, and unfortunately sometimes in jobs like that, you don't always get that care, and so it's so refreshing to see that they genuinely feel it in their hearts.
Yes, and they really truly do. But It is getting on that time.
It is.
For us to get out of here, let you go, unfortunately. But we'll be back tomorrow.
We will always. We'll always be here for you. 4